But anyway, then we went to Tony Schiavone in the ring. Poor Tony. If they would pay him by the word, he'd come out much worse. But now they're paying him, and he has to get in and out of the ring for no reason constantly. And on a man that age.
Oh, please. He's the happiest guy there.
So he's in the ring, and he introduces Mark Henry, who Rampage is going to begin on Friday, August 13th. Friday the 13th, they're going to debut their new television program. Couldn't write this shit. And Mark does an interview, and he actually gets to talk for a minute. Well, maybe not a minute, maybe 45 seconds. But his first thing he said was he was not here to fix AEW. And everybody went, shit. But then of course, he said it wasn't broken. It shattered, maybe? I don't know, but
by the way, who said that? Who said, "Hey, Mark, go fix AEW. Go fix it."
Yeah, like he can handle a responsibility like that all by himself. They acknowledge that everybody says, "Hey, this is a fucking mess," so they have guys go, "I didn't come here to fix it. It doesn't need fixing." That's just what everybody's saying, that it needs fixing. He's lost weight. He looks great. He wouldn't give a yes or no on whether he's going to wrestle again. And then suddenly here comes Vicky Guerrero. Did she used to be that far over the top with the excuse me?
Yes. Oh, no, it was worse.
Was it worse?
It used to be even worse.
All righty. She came out and kicked Tony Schiavone and Mark Henry out of the ring, and they went. So this is Mark Henry's interview time, but unscheduled. This woman screeching, "Excuse me," comes out and tells both of these grown men, in one case, the world's strongest man, to leave, and they do. And then she introduced someone, but I couldn't understand. I can speak English. I know a few words in German, a couple of Spanish phrases. I don't understand screech. This is what she was speaking. So she introduced Andrade, who is now, what is his fucking name?
I think it's Andrade El Idolo.
I don't know. I thought, was he back out sometime? I thought I got another shot at writing it down.
I think it was Spanish for Austin Idol.
And as we all know, Austin Idol is often idle. Nevertheless, anyway, and he said something to the effect of he was a little low, or he's been a little low. I'm like, how low is he? A fucking quart? What the fuck is this? He's here to be the face of the Latinos and the face of AEW. But
I'm so sorry. It would have been a perfect opponent for Thunderbolt Patterson. He's always so full. His opponent is the guy who's always so low.
So low. But he's got a thick accent that you can barely understand, so he needs a manager. But Vicky Guerrero? What are her manager qualifications? Every 3 months, she comes out to the ring with Nyla Rose, and Nyla Rose gets beat, and she couldn't sign Jane Cargill. And then we don't see her for months at a time unless she's on the floor with the paid fans fucking singing Judas. But suddenly now, because she speaks Spanish, so somehow they go together like peanut butter and jelly. I'm glad that when I was a manager, I actually got to go to the ring with my guys all the time. And like you said earlier, was seen on a regular basis. But boy, the manager's job is a lot easier these days. I took more bumps, did more promos, and did more work in 1 week than all of their managers have done in the last 4 months. Because you never see them. And if you do see them, they don't do anything. So now Andrade Olio is there with Vicky. What do you think his chances are of being a top talent in this company with Vicky Guerrero as his manager?
I think his chances in general of being a top guy in the company are actually somewhat good. With Vicky, I think it's one of those things like Kip and Penelope. You got to at some point pivot away and be like, okay, we're going to be serious now.
So another false start for this guy. So we pigeonhole him in one direction, and then 6 months later, they try to push him seriously.
You know, it's too bad they didn't get his actual manager from WWE, Zelina Vega, Thea Trinidad. She's still out there.
Well, she left because she's married to the other guy, right?
She's married to, well, he's now out of WWE, Aleister Black.
Yeah. Well, so they ought to bring them all in and put the people with the people that the people already want to be with because of the people.
It says something about how they viewed him. And I think he's a really talented guy. I liked him as La Sombra before he went to NXT, and then I liked him in NXT, and then eventually WWE ruined him. It's a story that you could apply to so many different wrestlers, but I think he's really good. I think he'll be good there. But if there's an edict that you're not allowed to have any more surprises, what does it say that they were okay with this being a surprise?
Well, I mean, if you'd have said in advance, Andrade will be on the show Friday night. Reedy. Who cares?
And we joke about them interrupting every promo. They interrupted the promo they teased at the pay-per-view with Mark Henry actually saying something. Remember at the pay-per-view, he came out, he grunted, didn't say a word, he left. This time he comes out there, he has something to say. They interrupt that promo to debut someone else.
And he gets kicked out of the ring by a middle-aged housewife. All right, the next match was, since the Cody and a Go-Go match was so well received, Cody teaming up with Big Shotty Lee Johnson with Arn Anderson against QT Marshall and Anthony Ogogo. And again, the faces have a manager and the heels don't, but they have peripheral people that we'll see shortly.